thank you everyone for joining us. I believe the first item on our agenda is to vote to approve the minutes from our last meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Great. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, I believe that means the motion passes. And we are moving on to updates from Jessica.
Thank you, Molly. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, Amber, could you enable screen sharing for me, please?
Yes. Okay, and you should be all set.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. All right, and everyone can see okay? Great, thank you.
Screen.
All right, so I was taking a look at our Google Analytics, and I just wanted to kind of share an update because it's been a little while since we looked at sort of where people are coming from. So the top 10 cities are listed on the screen of where our visitors came from in the month of October. So our big cities, obviously, which we would expect, and then, you know, also Milford is in there, Danbury, which is a large city, of course, but, you know, glad to see that we're getting pretty good distribution throughout the state, which to me indicates that our outreach efforts are working. We do have sort of a space up here in the Litchfield County area, and Nancy does have some connections at small radio stations up there. So she is working on getting Andrea possibly some interviews in that area so that we can penetrate that part of the state more. Additional observations. I thought this was interesting to share, but not necessarily surprising. So in terms of demographic breakdowns for where our visitors are coming from, the greatest percentage of users in October, and this is, I did look back at other months, so this is, you know, a trend that we've been seeing since we started to really push the prepare to submit claims information. So the greatest percentage of users in October was in that 25 to 34 group. And just over 60% of our visitors were female and 40% male. So I think that that is indicative of, as we know, folks are getting more interested in going to the website to find out about submitting claims. And we know a lot of those claims that people are asking questions about are related to bonding leave. So that's why I say that I think this information is not necessarily surprising, but wanted to share it. I did want to share with you a couple of videos for our social media campaign. Now, these build on the work that was done for the small business page. And so we are, as we're really focusing our outreach to employees and workers, we're also continuing to let that small business audience know that they're supported and we're here to help them. So we are running a social media campaign, and I would like to share 2 of the videos. There are 5 total, and these are going to run on LinkedIn and Facebook. Sorry, it doesn't want to let me in this morning. Thank you for bearing with me while I put this information in. Oh, it's not working. That's interesting. Let me try this one. Is the sound playing? No, okay. I had a feeling. Okay, now that should be good.
As someone who grew up in this industry and never having had this opportunity before, I am very excited for myself and my employees that if something does happen, we are taken care of.
Is this a video or just?
This is Andrea Barton-Reeves, Chief Executive.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't see the video?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I don't on my end.
It's a
I'm
still.
so sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah.
Let me try that again. Hold on. Okay, I apologize, man. My technical skills are not on point this morning. All right, can you see it now?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. All
I
right,
saw a clip of it, Jess.
all right. All right, let me try this one more time.
As someone who grew up
There we
in
go.
this industry and never having had this opportunity before, I am very excited for myself and my employees that if something does happen, we are taken care of.
This is Andrea Barton-Reeves, Chief Executive Officer of Connecticut Paid Leave Authority. I invite you to learn more by visiting ctpaidleave.org, and thank you for all you do to move our state and our economy forward.
Okay, so there are, as I said, 5 different versions. Okay, I think now I'm sharing my whole screen and not just one certain application. So there are 5 different versions of those that will be going live, and I'll send the links to all of them. But they feature the different small businesses that we interviewed when we were developing the small business page, and they're all short and sweet, you know, anywhere between 30 and 45 seconds. And our goal is to just continue to let the business community know that we are here to help them through this implementation phase. Also wanted to share with you, these are an addition to or an extension of the digital video ads that we're going to be running. And these are called in-banner video. So kind of the neat thing about these, and I'll see if I can get it to open so that you can see what it looks like.
Workers will be eligible for up to 12 weeks of income replacement to take time off to care for themselves or a family member who is seriously ill, or for certain other reasons, such as bonding with a new child, caring for an injured military family member, being a bone marrow or organ donor, or addressing family violence issues. Connecticut Paid Leave means you can care for yourself and your loved ones and have income security. Applications for benefits available in December. Learn more at ctpaidleave.org. In January, most Connecticut workers.
So the nice thing about these ads is that they are, instead of a static banner ad, when someone is on a website where this ad appears, they will start playing without the sound as it started when I opened my screen. And so that's why we have the headline about care for your family and have income security and the learn more, because we know that video is eye-catching, but we also know that a lot of times people don't necessarily listen to the sound. And so that's why we wanted to go this route instead of just the traditional static banner ads. And that digital campaign, which is statewide, it's very targeted based on certain demographics that we think are likely to be seeking paid leave and needing to put in an application. That campaign is live. As you heard me mention last week at the board meeting, we have Andrea doing tons and tons of radio interviews, which has been great. So we wanted to put them all in one place so that we could drive folks to listen to those interviews if they wanted to. And those are, I'm in the process of putting them all up on our YouTube page. So as I said, I think she's done about 10 or 11 so far. And probably about 3/4 of them are up. So I will share the link with you after this meeting as well, so that you can go and listen. And as I don't need to tell you, she has done a wonderful job with all of the interviews, even with, you know, some tough questions that she may have gotten from 1 or 2 hosts. Last month at our committee meeting, we talked about Metro North, and I did look into it, and Andrea and I decided that it would be a great idea to do some targeted Metro North rail posters. And I just wanted to share with you the creative that we came up with. So in keeping with the same sort of creative messaging that we're using on our billboards and our buses, and we will have 3 different versions, which show sort of different versions of family and different reasons that people might apply for leave. We also are developing some tutorial videos. So we created one just about 2 weeks ago about how to create an account with CT Paid Leave because it does necessitate going through that process of creating an account with ct.gov. We had over nearly 400 views in less than 2 weeks, which indicates to me that people really are interested in wanting to get themselves as prepared as possible ahead of December 1st. So I'm currently working on how to submit a claim, which will be a screen share that walks people through from starting at the Connecticut Paid Leave site, going over to the AFLAC site and going through that entire process. Additionally, Quelf reached out to us and wanted to coordinate with us to do a Facebook Live event in early December to show a walkthrough of this application process. And so we're excited to work with them on that and help get the word out through their constituents as well. And then lastly, we have really been putting a big focus on reaching out to healthcare providers. So I just wanted to share with you a list of some of the outreach that we've done so far. So this list, Nancy's been working on this project and she's been doing a really great job covering not only the hospital groups. We know Yale and Hartford Healthcare now own the majority of the hospitals, but also trying to make connections with the folks at those hospitals in the HR departments, trying to get to the patient liaison departments. And then we've also been reaching out to professional associations in hopes that they can help us as well. And so with that, I will end my sharing. I did want to ask, because we were so appreciative of all of your suggestions last month, if you do have any thoughts or suggestions for us as far as that healthcare outreach that we might be able to explore, I would love to hear any of those that you may have. And I'm also happy to answer any questions about anything that I shared in the presentation.
Not sure if this is directly responsive to what you're asking, but Nancy provided the piece, I'll call it, for our monitors. You recall in a last meeting, I can't recall if it was here or a board meeting, that I talked about we could place it on the monitor in our building, as well as in our 3 of the 4 early learning centers that do have monitors. And so we have done so. And I'll reiterate again, we do have space in our main building proper to put some materials, both in English language and Spanish and any other way that you have them, that we can make those available. But it will loop on the monitor along with, and then freeze there for a certain period of time in our building. And then in the early learning centers, it will be frozen there for a longer period of time, so that not only the staff, but parents, et cetera, coming through the building can see that as well. So thank you. And I hope that aids in providing some, additional outlet for information for community folk.
It does. Thank you so much. And if you have any need or desire for printed, I heard you mention English and Spanish, which we have, and then if there are other languages that you think would
or
be
whatever other, we absolutely have a resource table, and we can absolutely post that.
Great. We'll get you some. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Andrea has her hand up.
Oh, Andrea, sorry.
Okay, good morning. Adrian, I don't recall, and I apologize, if I forwarded to you the material that Jessica and Nancy had created that actually had the YWCA branded logo for handing out. If I didn't, because I said I would, and I have a feeling I forgot, so I'm going to make sure that you get that, because they did prepare that for you with your actual logo on it.
And you know what? Let's call it a wash on that, Andrea, because maybe you didn't send it, but maybe you did, and I didn't see it. But if it could be, let's just say, resent, that would be great. Thank you.
I'm not going to, we'll no longer be an intermediary and ask if Jessica could just send it directly.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions I can address for anyone, or?
It's not a question. I just wanted to say how awesome all the healthcare provider outreach is. Clearly, kind of blanketed the state between the networks and the professional associations. And I know how much work that must have been, and I appreciate the detailed update on that.
Thank you. Yeah, and we're going to continue looking. I mean, we know that there are so many more associations for every specialty and whatnot, but we wanted to kind of start with the ones that we thought would be most all-encompassing and get us in front of the most people. Well, that's all from me, unless anyone has any other questions or anything else they'd like me to elaborate on. Thank you.
Great. Well, in that case, I'll ask, is there any old business anyone would like to raise? Hearing none, is there any new business anyone would like to raise? Okay. So hearing no old or new business, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I believe the ayes have it. Thanks, everyone, and enjoy having a little bit of your morning back.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice weekend.